Hey there, Steve Shermer here at Silk Road Catalyst. Last night I was doing some Googling and I came across a graph that was posted on the Joshua Project website about the current status of global evangelization in 2020. So I thought I would share some information with you of stuff I already knew and then updated information I found out last night that is actually pretty exciting. So let's get started. First things first, there are 2.1 billion people in this world who have never heard the gospel one time because they don't have access to it. I mean, literally, they don't know anyone. They don't have any churches. They don't have any Christian witness. They have no missionaries in their community. Like, seriously, I'm not exaggerating. They literally have no way to hear the gospel, even if they wanted to hear it. Now, there are far more people in this world who have never heard the gospel one time, but the difference is the people I'm talking about, they don't have Christian neighbors. They don't have a plethora of churches on every street corner. They don't have Christian radio and Christian television to tune into. They literally have nothing. The people in this world who have never heard it but are around all those things, well, they have access. And I don't count them in the same category as the 2.1 billion people that I'm talking about. Oh, and the people I just referenced, 43 to 47,000 of them every single day. So today, 43 to 47,000 of them will die and enter eternity, never ever having the opportunity to hear the gospel one time. Tomorrow it'll be the same. The next day the same. The next day the same. Every day this is the reality, and this is a tragedy. So this is part of the current state of global evangelization because we still have so much work to do to get the gospel to every man, woman, and child in this world. Now that is only the tip of the iceberg, and so I want to give you a few more details about global evangelization that you may or may not know that I think are important to understand so we have a greater understanding of what needs to be done, what needs to be celebrated, and hopefully will stir your heart toward greater involvement in global missions. So the second thing I want to share with you is that the top 5 countries with the most number of unreached people groups within their borders are all in Asia: China, India, Nepal, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. And India has the most out of any single country in the world with over 2,700 distinct unreached people groups. The third thing I want to share with you is that for the last couple of years, if you've been following me or Silk Road Catalyst on social media, you will have heard that 86% of all Muslims, Hindus, and Buddhists do not know one Christian personally. It was true. According to this report by Joshua Project, which includes research done by multiple organizations, that number is now down to 81%. Now, 81% is a huge number still to address. But guess what? It's going down and not up, and that is cause for celebration. The next thing I learned from this report is that, again, if you had followed me, you would have heard me say, or Silk Road Catalyst say, that 1,600 languages in the world still have no one working to translate the Bible into those languages. Well, the fact is, and this isn't really great news, but it's actually over 1,700 languages. But the encouraging news is 91% of the global population has access to at least the full New Testament in a language they can understand and relate to. And that also is cause for us to celebrate. Now, this next thing is something I didn't know, and that is 91% of all pastors in this world are untrained. So basically, 91% don't have sufficient training to pastor a church, lead a church. And I know there's varying opinions on what that means and what can be done to provide that training. But the reality is 91% don't have adequate training. Now, the last thing I'm going to share is something I partly already knew, and maybe you already know this as well, is that the United States is the #1 sender of missionaries by number. But the vast majority, or over 50% of all global missionaries sent cross-culturally, are actually from the global south: Asia, Africa, and Latin America. But the frustrating fact about sending missionaries is that as the global church, we are sending 5 out of every 6 cross-cultural missionaries to countries that are considered nominally Christian, meaning we only send 1 out of 6 missionaries to the unreached. And this is a problem. I say this because if we're serious about getting the gospel to those who don't have access to it, sending only 1 out of every 6 missionaries to them is not going to get the job done. And so, yes, we need to up our game. We need to send more resources and manpower to those gospel-deprived communities. Now, there is so much more to the state of global evangelization in 2020 that I don't have time to share. So I'm going to put a link in the show notes to the resource that I discovered last night on the Joshua Project website so you can take a look at it. Now, if you want to ask questions or give suggestions or comments about this subject matter, please do so in the comment section below. And if you have an idea about content that you would love to learn about and hear about, please mention that as well. And if you find the content of this video valuable, please share it with your church, your family, your friends, and anyone you know involved in global missions. See you next time.